Okay, we can build some stairs. So first thing I do is measure out where each stair approximately is going to land. So once I have those marked out, I'll just go it's hard to do and keep it in frame and all that stuff. I just go and I kind of just cut a little niche. It doesn't have to be huge. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. Balsa wood cuts really easy. I do have my finger underneath here like a dum-dum, so don't cut your fingers. If you're gonna do it this way, which I find is the easiest way, be very careful. The other way you could do it is with this guy, but only if you leave space to be able to move your saw. I didn't really do that, so doing it with the saw is going to be, it's just going to tear this whole thing apart. So I'm going to have to do it with the knife, but that's fine as long as I am gentle. And don't go crazy. We'll be fine. And really what I probably should have is not glued this all. Should have made this piece separate from this piece and done the stairs before gluing it on. But you know, you gotta do it the hard way. And it's not a good tutorial if a person doesn't do it under duress, right? Little niches. Okay, now, see? Pretty easy. So then, I'll put my piece of wood, what is going to be the step. Let's line it up. I mark where the end of it is and where the insides are as well. So, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's 3 marks on there. The first one, cut it from. It's alright if stuff breaks, it's supposed to be worn down, right? So now there's only 2 marks. So then, I use my razor saw and I'll definitely show this up close. And I just cut a little ways into it. You can still see that. And then I take my hobby knife and push it in from this way, and because the wood grain runs this way up and down, it wants to split up and down. So if you line up where it wants to crack with where you've just cut, and you'll pop a little corner piece out. So just got to do that twice. And I don't worry about making everyone perfect and level and squared. In fact, this tool right here is the one that does the most work for the squaring, because I use the corner of it to then square out those a little bit. And then, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? And then that ends up sliding right there. If you did your little niche right, it should just sit right in there. And I just do little beads of glue underneath, and it holds them all together. Pretty crazy, right? Alright, so now we're going to do another stair just so you can see again a little bit closer. A little bit. Bam, bam, and bam. And I do just kind of eyeball it. I mean, there's a mark there, but I don't get really upset if it doesn't fit right. Because I have plenty of popsicle sticks. Or if I break one, because a lot of times what happens when I do it right here, sometimes it splits all the ways down the step and it is no good. Pop out that corner. Pop out this corner. We got our step. Tiny dab of hot glue just to hold her in place. See, I forgot to notch the other side of this one because I glued it all the way back up there, so that's going to be giving me a problem this whole time. But just to double check that step, it works good.
Just another warning to be careful when using a razor blade or craft knife. Cutting towards yourself can be really dangerous, and I do it a lot in this video. I would suggest being gentle and taking your time. Don't rush. That's how you get hurt. Thank you.
Okay, so now we have our stairs complete, and most of them fit a model. I think one of these got a little bit too small somewhere in here. Yeah. But most of them fit a model, which is pretty cool. It means you can actually have action on the stairs if you're playing a skirmish game. But the next step of this is more carpentry. We're gonna put in supports for the banister or the railing, and this also helps hide any glaring mistakes you've done, or over glue or anything like that along the side there. So let's do that, huh? Alright, so next is the banister, which is tricky, but it's easy to make it look ruined. It's really hard to make it look fully intact. So we're gonna make it look ruined. We're gonna do measurements weird. Okay, so usually I try to do about like an inch in between each railing, but this is a little weird. It's like an inch and a half. So what I'll probably do is I'll just put one here in the corner. And I'll put one here at the end. Bam. Got our little pilot holes going. So now I'm going to do the rest of the whole banister like that. Okay, this next bit is the tricky part, and I've got to actually figure out the perfect way to do it, besides planning it all out, measuring and cutting every piece before assembling. So basically not doing how I build at all. So instead I do it this way, which is probably not as good as it could be, but it works for me, and the product comes out, the end result comes out how I like it. So that's how it is. So I just put this little piece here, coffee stirrer, like one of the bigger ones, right up next to where the holes were already drilled, and just eyeballed and measured it. So then I'm gonna take some popsicle sticks, or no, what am I talking about? Toothpick. Right here. And amazingly enough, these are some of the toughest toothpicks. I'm just gonna snip this down. Check my height. See, that's too tall. Perfect. So, little pilot holes I drilled on this piece, or actually, this drill bit isn't quite big enough to fit this. So, I do have this other drill bit that I'll widen the hole a little bit if I need. Because the variation on these toothpicks is quite a bit. They are all not the same size, that's for sure. Drop a hot glue in there. Push my little peg in there. Clean up the glue. Grab the next one. Cut it down. File it smooth. Widen the hole. Is it? I don't know. It don't matter. Too much glue on that one. Bam. Get that in there, and we have made ourselves a little railing. Oh, look at that. Now, my favorite part, trying to get it in these dang holes. I'll use another toothpick, hopefully a wider one, to kind of widen those holes a little bit. It will just make it a lot easier in the long run. Do that. Oh, that was too much. I think I pushed too hard right there. That's the other thing I found with the balsa wood. I'm so used to using the pine toothpicks and dowels and popsicle sticks and stuff that I break the balsa wood all the time. It's pretty funny. Anyways, so yeah, there's a little banister. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I'll clean up where the glue is. Hit that with a lighter real quick, burn off any of the fuzz. It's you're not going to be looking up at most of the banisters, so you're not going to see the crappy glue job from the bottom so much, so you don't really have to stress about that unless you have it on like a tower. Then if you have banister on a tower, then you want to try to do the glue a little bit better. Wood glue or white glue, I would say, would actually be stronger in the long run. The problem is it takes a long time to dry, and I'm trying to put this together kind of quick to do this tutorial. So also I have ADHD, and if it takes a long time to dry, that means I'm gonna go do something else. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna finish this up, this whole railing system, and then we'll have a gander at the finished product. Or is this good enough? I don't know. We'll see when we get there. All right, I do got one other little thing. This is destroyed, right? It's a ruined city, so not all this nothing is going to be pristine. So we are going to do some busted banisters, which is pretty easy. I usually just break it, the toothpick, because then it gives you this nice kind of split feel, and I stick it in the thing. That's really all you need to do for the busted railing.
So that is my technique for model-friendly stairs. You'll see this technique throughout most of my builds. Wherever I want action to take place on stairs, this is usually how I build them. I want a quick shout out to all my new subscribers and all my old subscribers, everyone everywhere. Just thanks for watching and all the wonderful support, especially from places like the In Rust We Trust Discord, which has been an insurmountable amount of support. I also want to shout out the Hive Scum podcast. Their latest episode, Lords of Doggerland, was great. Had me rolling on the floor. Yeah, so thanks for checking out Blur's Craft. I got another video coming up here pretty quick. Almost done with this build. I'll catch you guys next time. Later.